Hey everybody, this is Jay from American Survival. I'd like to thank you for joining me today. And today we're going to see about tearing apart this old trailer. It's very handy for around the homestead. We use it for everything from hauling off garbage to hauling off rock, hauling firewood, and don't really have nothing in it. And had it for maybe 5 years or so. Built all this top out of scraps from the sawmill, so it was pretty much free. It's long overdue for a rebuild. It's about to finally fall apart, and it's too handy to just let go to waste. So we're going to see about rebuilding this with metal tin. Like thinking about doing some sort of metal tin for the bottom, and I've got a few metal T-posts, that go in the ground. I've got a few pieces of unistrut, so I'll go through what I've got and see what I can use for like little side pieces, and see if we can piece this thing together and do away with the wood altogether and just go to metal. Maybe that'll, for one, extend the life expectancy of it, and two, when this wood gets wet, it's really heavy. So I use this mainly for pulling behind the Jeep, but it's real handy, and it's time to be rebuilt. Don't exactly know how it's going to turn out yet. Depends on what I come up with for scraps. That'll depend on how it turns out. So you'll be the first ones to see how it turns out when I do. So stay with me, and we'll see about getting this thing tore down, dig out some supplies, and see about rebuilding this thing. May end up having to just tear it apart. A lot of them. Yeah, I'd say that was about rotted. It didn't take a whole lot. Well, that's a little bit of a start. That's got it tore down to, these are beams. I got 3 of these beams that are bolted to the frame, the lag bolts, and then the rest are boards going across this way. But before I get any further, let me go ahead and dig out the 4-wheeler and use the little trailer that I built, our firewood retrieval unit. It's been coming in handy for everything too. We've been hauling mulch around the yard. I've been hauling rock with it, but I'll get it pulled around here and we'll get all this stuff loaded up, because this has got some nails and stuff. I'll just run it down to the burn pit. That way I can just get rid of it all together. Don't have to worry about losing any screws and stuff up through here where we drive all the time. But that's the start, and give me a little bit. I'll be back with you, and we'll catch you on the flip side. Well, we got it stripped down to the beams, and the next step is to remove these beams. I've got a lag bolt right here, right here, right here, and same thing. I got 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and we've just about got this stripped down. There's everything on the back of the trailer. I'm gonna go haul it to the burn pit, and we'll come back and we'll get these beams taken off, and we'll go from there. These things feel like 100 pounds a piece. I knew they were going to be heavy because they were wet. One tip that I will give you, whenever you are welding and you're out in the open and there's possibility of rain or moisture or whatnot, for me, right now, I'm not going to worry about getting too pretty. So for the time being, always take some can of paint, no matter what color, just any old paint, and if you can get it while the welds are still hot, if you spray the paint on there, it bakes it to it. It makes the paint harder, and it keeps it from rusting, because if you open welds without anything on it, in a day or two, it'll start to rust. Try to get it while it's still hot. Don't have to be very pretty. I just made sure that it would stick good and hold. So there's a couple more bracings to put across. And I got those welded up in the front. So yeah, we're at the point to start making the side pieces and maybe some type of rail, and possibly some metal tin to go down on the bottom and maybe the sides. I don't know. We'll see how it turns out. Well, before you pass judgment too much, I want to put in a little disclaimer. I had no part in building this actual square and the way that the axle is mounted to the square. All that was prefabbed when I bought the trailer, and it is seriously out of square. So I don't know what they were thinking, what they were drinking, or what, but that's not my fault. So don't pass too harsh of judgment. I've got these rails on the side fabricated. Those are all welded down here to these. And the reason why I went to the outside of these squares is that way I'd be able to haul a 4x8 sheet of plywood if I need to. But let me get this other side set up. I'll get it all vice gripped together. I've got the top of these rails bolted together, the lag bolts, nuts and washers. But I'll get this other side set up and get it ready to weld, and then all I'll lack is doing the cross piece across the front, and we ought to be pretty close to putting some tin on this jewel. I went ahead and had 4 small cut-off pieces of tin. So I went ahead and arranged them together and then laid it out on the frame. So that tin right there will be the floor. Well, there you go. That's what I came up with for the time being. I needed to be able to use this, so I didn't get a chance to finish my tailgate. But I made this makeshift deal where you can got pieces of all thread. You just basically slide it in, and you put this end in, and then from the inside you just tighten them down to lock these in place. So you can take them out fairly easy. But anyways, that's a makeshift tailgate for right now. I just really needed to be able to use the trailer. And the inside diameter is large enough to compensate for a 4x8 sheet. Nothing too fancy. It's still a work in progress, and maybe when I get a little more free time, I'll do an update video on some improvements. But for the time being, I'm able to use it, haul off garbage and firewood, and eventually I'd like to make some sort of tailgate for the end of that like flips down. But yeah, that's it. I appreciate you joining me today. Hope y'all are being safe out there. So from the American Survival Homestead, until next time, y'all take care, be safe, and God bless. Thanks for watching.